Important news out of Washington that I don't think has gotten anywhere near enough attention. Remember Robert Hur? He's the special counsel who investigated Joe Biden over his handling, or rather mishandling, of classified documents and concluded that there was no point in prosecuting the president because Joe Biden presented as, quote, an elderly man with a poor memory. Now, that report was something of a bombshell. It led to that train wreck of a press conference when Joe Biden insisted that he was mentally fit, and then went on to confuse Egypt with Mexico. Well, the transcript of Robert Hur's interview with the president has dropped and is not pretty. Nor were some of the things Hur revealed to Congress when he testified this week. Among other things, Hur revealed that the White House tried to get him to change his report before it went public.
Did the White House then, once they got the report before it went public, did the White House try to weigh in with your investigation on elements of that report and, frankly, get the report changed?
They did request certain edits and changes to the draft report.
And Hur went the full Maury Povich, revealing other lies of the president.
February 8th, the White House question, Mr. President, why did you share classified information with your ghostwriter? The president, I did not share classified information. I did not share it. I guarantee I did not. That's not true, is it, Mr. Hur?
That is inconsistent with the findings based on the evidence in my report.
Yes, it's a lie, is just what regular people would say, right? Yeah, all right. So the next one. And all the stuff that was in my home was in filing cabinets that were either locked or able to be locked. That wasn't true either, was it?
That was inconsistent with the findings of our investigation.
Another lie, people might say.
Hur also said that Biden had classified documents lying all over the joint.
Mr. Hur, classified documents were found at the Penn Biden Center?
That's correct.
They were found in President Biden's garage?
In Wilmington, Delaware, yes.
And in his basement den?
Also in the same home, yes.
In his main floor office?
Correct.
And his third floor den?
Correct.
At the University of Delaware?
Correct.
And at the Biden Institute?
Correct.
As indeed this photo of classified Afghanistan documents in Joe Biden's basement further proves. Hur was also explicit on this point. Contrary to what Democrats have claimed, Hur's report did not exonerate Biden. And remember, the special counsel found that Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials, again, in his home, garage, and office for decades. Hur shut down the Democrats' claim in this testy exchange with committee member Pramila Jayapal.
So this lengthy, expensive, and independent investigation resulted in a complete exoneration of President Joe Biden. For every document you discussed in your report, you found insufficient evidence that the president violated any laws about possession or retention of classified materials.
I need to go back and make sure that I take note of the word that you used, exoneration. That is not a word that
I'm
appears
going
in
to
the
continue
report,
with my questions. I'm going to continue with my questions. I know that the term
I ultimately reached
I know that
whether
the term
sufficient evidence existed such that the likely outcome
you exonerated
would be a conviction.
him. I know that the term willful.
Committee Chair Jim Jordan summed it up.
Mr. Hur produced a 345-page report, but in the end, it boils down to a few key facts. Joe Biden kept classified information. Joe Biden failed to properly secure classified information. And Joe Biden shared classified information with people he wasn't supposed to. Joe Biden broke the law. But because he's a forgetful old man who would appear sympathetic to a jury, Mr. Hur chose not to bring charges.
Now, there's a lot more to this, too. The transcript of Hur's interview with Biden was very telling. Among the things the transcript reveals, Biden said, quote, "When did I announce for president?" He also said, "If it was in 2013, when did I stop being vice president?" Biden asked, "In 2009, am I still vice president?" And he said, "Trump gets elected in November of 2017? Okay, and contrary to Biden's claim that it was Hur who brought up his son Beau's death, in fact, the transcript reveals it was Joe Biden himself who brought it up. Which brings us back full circle to the question of Joe Biden's memory and his mental faculties, which Hur said were, in his words, quote, front and center in the investigation.
The evidence and the president himself put his memory squarely at issue. We interviewed the president and asked him about his recorded statement. Quote, I just found all the classified stuff downstairs, end quote. He told us that he didn't remember saying that to his ghostwriter. He also said he didn't remember finding any classified material in his home after his vice presidency. And he didn't remember anything about how classified documents about Afghanistan made their way into his garage. My assessment in the report about the relevance of the president's memory was necessary and accurate and fair.
Those with better memories than the president will recall that when Donald Trump was president, every single slip he made was used by his opponents to suggest the 25th Amendment should be invoked to remove him from the White House because he had lost the mental or physical capacity for the job. As if. But the evidence presented by Robert Hur about Joe Biden is far more damning because it creates the following dilemma. Either, indeed, Joe Biden is mentally impaired and his family and medical advisors should urge him to resign, or, as his supporters say, he is mentally competent, which means that according to the damning findings of the Hur report, he is also guilty.